Well, we encountered one little oopsie. Like I said, this was the first time we had to cut a panel. Anyway, we got plastic sawdust inside the holes there, and we've already taped it. Got the tape on the top, the dust tape on the bottom, but we'll disassemble it. We'll go get air hose and we'll blow it out. But we're almost done with this side now. Let me get a show you how this works. So that theatrical system here, I mean, it just butts up to it, and then another T snaps into this and just pins it down so there's no screws. And I wanted to show you, when I was showing you the main panel, I don't think I was able to really show the bigger washer. So it's a regular neoprene roofing screw, but then it's got a big washer that also has a neoprene rubber backer. That just gives a big surface area for the polycarbonate to push against. Like I said, you got to pre-drill the hole real quick and then put it in, so there's expansion and contraction, and then you just lightly put the screw in. You don't want it tight or denting. And we're getting close here. We'll keep going with it. But next thing, I'm going to blow out that sawdust. We'll see you again in a sec. Okay, so we ended up, I didn't have enough air pressure, so we ended up using water to rinse out the sawdust. But I guess this is showing, we went ahead and left the dust tape on to see if it works or not. But anyway, you can see all the water dripping out the bottom. Anyway, just proving it works. All right, we'll be back again. Okay, so I'm working on the door. As you can see here, I've aligned everything with the 1x cedar, which creates the original treated stud is now going to become the door stop. You know, I've got it all the way around. Got my first part of the door in. So I got the hinge on, so this is technically my door. Let me move to the inside. So I think what I'm going to do is take the tongue and groove cedar and apply it on the inside. You know, making sure I don't, you know, give a distance back from here. But I'm going to run it left to right. Each board's going to be glued in and nailed in. Hopefully it won't have a sagging issue. But one thing I needed to think about is, you know, I've got that vent way down there. So I'll probably take it from here and have this be a screened opening so air can come in, so it could exit out the other side. And if it's super cold, I can also screw a board over it to keep it sealed in. Anyway, that's where we're at. Okay, well, we're like 99% done with the outside, just a couple little minor things that we just missed. But we'll do a full walk around, and then I'll show you the front wall completed. So we do have our aluminum channels installed on the bottom. We got our roof cap up on the top. Here's the back end wall. I don't think I've ever showed you the pool room. I'll show that to you here, but right here we got just temporarily an extension cord running, and it's on a GFI outlet right here, but it's running in, and the fan's actually working. So the fan's been running today. One thing I found was the big temperature difference, 17 foot high versus at the ground level. We're just doing a walk around here. So I set the fan to come on at 80 degrees, and while the temperatures recording device on the shallow end was showing like 72 degrees when the fan was going off, so I turned it up to 85. Just so much hotter up top than down at the bottom. All right, so here's the front wall. We've got a lot of shadowing. There's the door I built. I'm not really happy with these brackets here, and I'm sorry about the sun. I can't get a right angle to not be in the sun. Well, I got these brackets kind of holding it together because I kind of built it in place. I could knock them off and sand it off. Use gate hardware for the latch. This is a string, so from the inside you can pull on that string to unlatch it. so you don't get trapped inside. And then we had these hinges on. We went ahead and used these. I need to take that one off. A couple of things we missed was we didn't get a screw on this panel here, so it's flopping around a little bit. But you can see we got the snap-on piece of that, which I think I showed you earlier. Probably going to cut that off a little bit. Trying to think of anything else to show you. Let's go inside real quick. Oh, that's the back side of the door. I guess I need to show you. I put a chicken wire right here, so I needed ventilation. We are going to get to 31 degrees tonight, so saith the weatherman. Let me get down here. And we're going to get to 31 degrees tonight. I'm going to go ahead and leave that vent on the door open. And we've actually ended up with a 20-degree differential in here once we got this side closed up. About a 20-degree difference in here was warmer than the outside air. I showed you that extension cord. I'm going to show you how we did this because I thought that was pretty cool. We had to fish this extension cord through that hole. Somewhere in this video I'm going to show two different options that we use to do it. Anyway, the vent fan's up. Just underneath it is a temperature controller. And if you follow the black wire down to just below the ladder, that's the actual temperature sensor. So at that sensor, it was hitting 80 degrees when on this side, it was still 72 degrees. And when I was up putting that temperature sensor up, it was hot. Now granted, the outside temperature today was 56 degrees Fahrenheit. That was there about as hot as it got today. Anyway, the cord's run, it's a Band-Aid, it's temporary. Like I said, I still think I'm gonna come in through this patch hole, expose electricity, and just get a proper outlet mounted. I went through and pulled all the grass that was growing in the citrus trees and just laid them down so they could decompose there. Got some strawberry plants in with this one. I just needed a place to keep it. Anyway, you can see this one has just been picked apart by bugs. It's like even at the coast when I plant a tree, it's like the next day I come and a bug is eating all the leaves. I don't know what it is about citrus. Maybe y'all can give me some tips, but it is it's leafing out again, but it's also showing blooms. You can see my little muck pit here. Anyway, this one's got a whole lot of blooms on it. This one looks like it's starting to bloom. Anyway, these trees haven't been kept up very good because they're outside, get watered, don't get watered, and then it's going to freeze, so I need to move them inside. So I think this is a happy new beginning for all these citrus trees. And I think I decided what I'm going to do up here. I think that I was planting potatoes today. I got a single potato in each one of these 5-gallon buckets. Then I've got 3 potatoes in this muck bucket. I planted them at 3 different heights, hoping that they don't rub against each other when they're growing. Then I've got some romaine lettuce planted in a garden stalk. This is a tower where you can set like seven layers on top of each other, so it ends up being like 5 foot tall. Anyway, there's a lot of romaines in there. I'm gonna get through the transplant shock, and then I'm just gonna thin it out to 1 per little hole there. Anyway, this little table here, I used it for potting and it worked good, and I think what I'm gonna end up doing is on this side, I'm gonna be able to get some 1x12s, either pine or cedar, and build a 20-inch by 20-inch box. And then on the bottom of it, I'm gonna put screen wire, and I'm gonna have my worm bedding in here, and it'll have a lid on it. And then the other half, I believe, is gonna be all potting soil. So basically, on top of this box, I can set my little pots, scoop over here, fill it with dirt, and then when I'm done, I just lift this lid, and all all the potting soil slide back into this bin. Then I've also got it located next to the door, and I'll probably have a string. We can open the door, pull a string, it'll open the lid, and then we can dump our kitchen scraps in for the worms. But that's one thing, I'll probably be doing this sooner than later. But anyway, that's we're basically sealed in, and we're ready to get going with the interior. And I think it's going to be exciting. Oh, it's January 21st, so I think our last freeze date is April 15th. So anyway, we'll keep on chugging with these videos. And I think we're getting I think Tuesday we're going to have a rain, and if we get a good rain and it washes these panels off, because there's a lot of dust on it right now, I'll call my drone guy and we'll get some good footage, from aerial footage of this thing. I think it'll look pretty cool. Anyway, we are, other than the electrical conduit bonus, we'll see you next time. Okay, this will be the last video for this segment. The exterior is done. I'll show you the doors, the front wall panel and everything in a sec. But now that it's closed in, I was worried about heat, so we've got to turn this fan on. So temporarily, we're trying to run an extension cord through this pipe so we can plug it in on the outside. And we tried to push the extension cord through it, and it just wasn't going to go. There's probably 2 or 3 90-degree corners. Anyway, Frank had this genius idea, and it worked. We tied a piece of a plastic bag onto a string, stuck it in the hole, and then just used a leaf blower, and we blew it through the hole, and it came out the other end. I just think that is super, super cool, solved a problem. So kudos to Frank for that.